All right.
Here we go.
Let's do it. So we're gonna call this meeting to order. Welcome everybody. Looking forward to blue sky and sunshine. It's been cloudy for a couple of days. I do have a few announcements. Number one, I think we all need to keep the Eunice family in our prayers. Very unfortunate accident happened a few days ago. And I think I'm hopeful and certainly optimistic that Dr. Eunice's wife and son are going to make a full recovery, but just a very unfortunate day for the county, healthcare community, and for the students at Eastern Academy. So please keep all those organizations and that family in your prayers. I'll mention this. Barkley reminded me about it this morning. So at the next meeting, next regular meeting, not the one on Monday, but the first one next month, Road and Bridge is going to make a presentation about the sanitation for the knuckle boom service. So we've been sort of doing that for a few months, trying to figure that out. That is a new service, and so now they're confident that we can come out with a schedule and people will know, okay, they'll kind of know when to expect that service, and they can put it out there, not put it out there and stuff you beside the road for two weeks. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you all for working on that. And then the last thing I'll say is that the work on the building is going extremely quickly. Matter of fact, I texted Sean the other day. I said, I need you to pass on a complaint to Ricky Saliba. That's the contractor in charge. I said, my complaint is they're going too fast. They show up one day and tell people they need to be out of their office by the next day, which is painful. Of course, we hear the beeps and the banging, and it's annoying as all get out. But the good news is that they're hopefully going to be done by the end of the year. Originally, we thought that was going to be a 2-year process. So they're moving faster than they thought. Materials are actually coming in faster than they expected. So I'm sure they probably have some clutch back there in there just in case, because everything is so crazy. So anyway, fingers crossed that will be done. So any other announcements by the commission?
Besides, there was a big amount of people that come out this past Saturday for the Mardi Gras parade, and thankfully it went down without any incidents being reported.
That is good news. I'm glad. Thank you for mentioning that. I talked to somebody that said they thought along the parade route there's about 65,000 people. That was kind of an estimate. I don't know how you estimate something like that, but that's a lot of folks. That's almost the population. And I know a lot of those people are probably from the county. A lot of those people are probably from.
There was even one that the news, I want to say it was from around South Carolina that come down to it.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome.
It's super fun.
That's awesome. Okay. Any other announcements? All right. Well, we will get to the agenda. So there's going to be 2 items on Monday's agenda that will be in the consent agenda. You should have all the information you need for these, but both reappointments. The first one is Donna West, who is on the Sarcoa board. She is desiring to be reappointed. Sarcoa is certainly desiring her to be reappointed. The next reappointment is to the Houston County Library System. That's Gloria Jetco. I think she's been on that board as long as I've been a commissioner, so I can't tell how many that board, but I know she does a good job. Every time I go to something for the library, she's pretty much there. So any questions, any objections to those items going on the consent agenda for Monday? No objection. Moving on to the proposed regular agenda. So we have the first item is a request to adopt a resolution authorizing participation in the ACCA Liability Self-Insurance Fund for county years 2024 and 2024 through 2026, and execute accompanying participation agreement. Something that it's kind of normal and customary. We do this about every 2 years. Peter's not here to answer questions. I don't know if you would like to volunteer any information or not, but Peter will be back on Monday, assuming his plane arrives back. Won't at the correct time, but he'll be back on Monday. I do actually have some questions about this myself. I don't know if y'all want to discuss this or not, but I would hope we would put it on the agenda, just ask whatever questions we have on Monday and kind of decide whether to move forward with that or not. Like I said, this is something we've normally done. Any questions or any thoughts on this? Any objection to this going on the agenda?
No administration object.
Okay. All right, the request, item number 2 is a resolution, and this may sound a little bit confusing, but I'll try to give a little bit of history here. So this is a request to abolish the Houston County Farm Center Board. So years and years ago, and this is information I've got from the previous chairman and from our legal counsel. Years ago, there was a Farm Center Board that was appointed by the commission. And my understanding is that we would the commission would allocate funds to the Farm Center Board for the purposes of maintaining the property. That way we really have a lot of direct involvement into what we're going to fix, who's going to go out there and have whatever event. So years go by, that works out good, and at some point, it's explained to me that they requested a big increase for the Farm Center property, and that increase never came from the commission. So the Farm Center Board, in an act of protest, more or less, were all resigned, and the commission just decided, okay, well, we're just going to be the Farm Center. So technically, we are the Farm Center Board. The Farm Center is closed. There's no events going on out there. Obviously, we now make all the decisions as to what we're going to fix up, what we're going to put money into, and that sort of thing. So really, there's no need to have a separate legal entity called the Houston County Farm Center Board. So this is a recommendation by legal counsel that probably just need to go ahead and abolish this sort of defunct organization. So any questions or any discussion on that? Any objection to this going on the agenda? No objection. Okay. All right, so item number 3 is a request to approve an agreement with the town of Ashford for conveyance of burial plots and maintenance portion of Crawford Street. So this is, I think all y'all know, Ashford has donated plots to us over the years for performing indigent burials. And those plots are starting to run out. So I think it is in our best interest that we not go into the graveyard business. Ashford is already in that business, and they have plots that they are willing to give us that will last, according to my estimates, about 4 to 5 years, just kind of depending on how many of those we have to perform. So this will give us 4 or 5 years, I guess, of runway. Like I said, the plots we have now are getting pretty low, so we need to do something. They're willing to give us those plots. They do ask for a little bit of consideration in return, which is in my opinion, not a big ask. There's a portion, actually all of Crawford Street, which is between County Road 33 and Broadway, I believe. It's a rough road, and it really runs between the church and the graveyard where the city cemetery is located. So they would like us to help them maintain sort of that road as long as we are using those burial plots. So in this transfer and maintenance agreement, you'll see that, that essentially in exchange for them giving us those plots, we're going to perform, whatever necessary maintenance as determined by the county engineer on that road, just to try to keep it in tip-top shape as long as we're using those burial plots. And once those burial plots are exhausted, they'll need to get another agreement. I think we'll probably not find another site after that, but the maintenance of that road will expire. So I think it's obviously a good deal for us, and we need those plots. And it's a good deal for them to take some maintenance, off of their books and put it on ours. So it's a win-win for everybody, in my opinion. Any questions or any discussion about it? Any objections to that going on the agenda?
No objection.
All right, any other items for consideration on Monday's agenda? Okay. All right, we did have one privileges of the floor request, Mr. George Trotter, who resides at 4218 County Road 203, Dothan, Alabama 36301, who's going to come talk to us today about good governance in Houston County. So, Mr. Trotter, have 5 minutes, as always. We appreciate your sage advice and sunny disposition, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. Appreciate the opportunity to come before you. As you know, we're going to break up 2 records today, I think. One of them is still pending until you wrap the gavel. But the first one is, I think we've got maybe 1 citizen other than an employee in Houston County at the Houston County Commission meeting. In 5 years, I've never seen 1, actually 2 myself, it looks like 1 other. That's a sad note of affairs with a constitutional public form of government, which you're a part of, elected official of. It's other people, by the people, for the people. And Mr. Chairman, I'm hoping that being that we're 11 minutes into this meeting, and I think your comments was with the privilege of the floor and being able to have a 5-minute limit on the citizen to address you all, is to move the meeting on so we don't get long drawn out. So I'm hoping today, maybe we can have 10 or 15 minutes of dialogue, if you will, if that'll work. I got 5 minutes, okay, and I'm out here, that you blow the whistle when I'm done, okay? First of all, y'all know I've been coming here going on my 5th year, and my objective has been to get this commission, which I've been here for 27 years, but I've been attending regularly for 5 years now, to be receptive and encourage the public, the citizens who elected you, who you represent, to come to these meetings. Not see it streamed online or here on the street, or surely don't want to depend on our local paper and 2 TV stations to get the news out to them, because that don't happen anymore. That went away a couple of years ago. Okay. Privileges of the floor. You know what an anonym is of privilege? The opposite of privilege is oppression. Do you know what oppression is? I hope to God you do. Because that's exactly what we've had here in Houston County for the 27 years I've been here. And I've served in public office before. So I know, I've never seen it this bad, of where it basically, you don't not only encourage them, you discourage them to participate. And by that, 10 a.m. meetings, we haven't changed. We talked about 5 p.m.s and we've jumped from here to there and yonder. But hey, and by the way, Mr. Chairman, in case you don't know, I had 3 people call me this morning or late yesterday evening and said, Mr. Trotter, have you seen the agenda for the meeting tomorrow with the Houston County Commission? I said, no, I don't go online anymore to look for the agenda because I don't see it on there. I don't do that. Well, it's not on there. I said, well, it don't surprise me. I think if you will get our paid attorney to get y'all in tune with the Alabama Open Meetings Act, y'all probably need to read that and get him to go over that. And I want to say you are mandated by that law to get an agenda out to the public 24 hours prior to a meeting, public meeting. Check it out. I'm not really certain about that, but I think it's right. And that's a sad note when you have to walk in and pick up a copy of an agenda and you would like to address an item maybe on the agenda. And you, Mr. Chairman, y'all gone away from that. Mr. Carver kept us for 27 years. I've been here, and for the 5 years I've been coming, it's pretty much at least allowed us 5 minutes to address an item on the agenda before y'all voted on it. And you have cut that out, right? Correct?
Correct.
Correct. Right. Can I ask you why you would cut that out? Why? Give me a reason. The people would love a reason out here as to why.
Because we have very few people. I would say that, I would agree with you that it is sad that people don't come to our commission. Because we are very welcoming to people. We have done one meeting night at 5, we're going to do another next month. But I will say this, I mean, we want to encourage the public to come talk about whatever concerns that they have. They can that's what I would encourage them to call their commissioner. I have people that call me and I address those concerns that they have. And so, but we do have a few people that abuse those privileges of the floor, and they are a privilege. So you know, in the essence of time and efficiency, because I'm a conservative and I'm all about saving these people's times who are being paid to be here when you move things along. So, but anyway, you got 20 seconds. So
Okay.
it's
called transparency, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. It's called transparency and accountability. That relates to accountability. I'd like to make a request, sir, and would like you to get back to us, the people, with this request. That request is, and I don't know how many of y'all attended the mayor's State of the City of Dothan address last month at the Republican Women's Meeting. It was excellent. I was thrilled to death. As ugly as he is, I'm almost wanted to hug his neck. And he and I are good friends. But let me tell you what he did. He got up, instead of getting up and talking for 45 minutes and beating the drum about what all he's done, and he opened it up to questions.
That's a good idea. And I'll be at Republican Women next month.
And I would love to see
Thank
I would love to see a state of the county address annually, if not twice a year.
Thank you.
Thank you.